Okay, sweetie. Hey there. It's Jennifer Huff here, and this is The Thriving Life. Today, I thought I'd ask you the question, what is that little shift that's happening for 2026? Or maybe it's a great big shift. Can you kind of feel it in your bones that we're moving into extremely different times? Is it pretty obvious that I mean, the way we shift is shifting? So it's like the entire quantum field is having an AI moment. And because it is, it can be a little bit uncomfortable. And if you imagine that your field already knows what's coming, maybe not your consciousness, maybe not your life right now, but if you have that sense of urgency inside, like it might not even be urgency, it might be this feeling like you want to do more or like there's something calling you that's bigger. I want to say that the close of a year is a really big deal. So, why is it a big deal? We'll get into that in a second. I just want to talk a little bit. First of all, can you follow us? We would love that. If you follow us, it really helps us to get out to more people and do a little like. And we love comments. So comment your little butt off during these shows as well. I'm looking at your comments, so I read them. Finally, if you know one of our shows is going to help someone that you love, pass it on. Okay, let's go back. And by the way, for today, put in where you're hailing from. Where are you calling from? What's going on? Where are you in the world? How are you doing? What's your word for the day? We'd love, 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 love to hear. All right, guys. You see, the rest of you can already feel what's coming. It's as though the operating system for what's coming is building in your field. And usually there's this sense at the end of a year, and let me just compile some things that are happening at the end of a year. There's a weird energetic portal on 11/11 that's about alignment. Complete whatever you need to complete for this year. That's what that's all about. And then, for Canada, there's Thanksgiving, there's a day of gratitude. And for the end of November is a day of gratitude in the United States. And then what comes up is this last month of the year, which has an energy of its own. This last month of the year is an energy that is very much about clearing the decks, tying up loose ends that you can, getting complete with the loose ends you can't tie up, energetically being complete with the tools and skills and all the things that really helped you in 2025. So that's what December is about. The thing is, when we get to December the 21st, that is the darkest day of the year. So it is the day with the least light. It's a day when you get to complete, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. If you're in the other hemisphere, it's a significant day because you really want to look at what you've built to start creating. They're important, important days. So imagine that everything is coming up to leave as we get to December the 21st. Everything's coming up to leave because it's the solstice in the winter months. Again, the opposite if you're in Australia and New Zealand and all of our friends down under, even in some parts of South America, of course. But that solstice is nearing the birthday of a highly significant spiritual teacher. Is it the actual birth date? Of course not, but that's not the point. We're talking about the energies, right? So the 25th of December is the birth of someone who represented unconditional love. who represented acceptance, who represented the goodness that's in humanity, who represented our potential to be able to connect and harmonize and make our greatest contribution to the world. So if you imagine that that date is what activates that particular part of our reality, then imagine that that particular part of our reality is actually all around the world on the 25th. And then, of course, for the majority of the world, not everyone, but the new year is coming. And the new year on the 31st of December, when we move into a new calendar, again, there are places that don't have a new year, but you have to understand that we're swimming in the soup of that new year. And for that new year, what it requires is the decks being cleared. Everything that you're beating yourself up for, everything that you're judging the world for, all of the tools that have worked for you, we just want to clear that out. All of the hopes and dreams that did come true and didn't come true, and you superseded and didn't supersede, all of that is looking to be cleared because energetically, when we come into a speedy time like this, and we're going into 2026, it's a really friggin' big deal. AI, quantum computers, blockchain, all the kids that are being born now are plugged into all of that. And we're all, my God, can you even imagine what their lives are going to be like with the speed at which everything is going to change? I mean, Jeannie, you have, two kids, and Adam and I have older kids, but your kids are right in the thick of the evolutions. Like, seriously, dude, right in the thick of the evolutions. So, I'm just thinking about it. I'm just wondering for you what it must be like because you see them totally plugged in, right? They have their own flow, isn't that right?
They totally do. They totally do. They they are really connected to their barometer of what feels good, and and they definitely can get caught up with,
Yeah.
you know, consciousness around them, but it's just really incredibly heartwarming to witness how connected they are to their hearts and to what feels good, and definitely to their freedom-seeking unicorn ways.
I understand. Yeah, and the freedom-seeking unicorn ways are almost the ways that are demanded of us. I mean, you and I are pretty unicorny.
Oh,
Adam too. I mean,
big
we're pretty unicorny, right? And so and I'm wondering, like, I think that being a bit of a unicorn has me at least unplugging from the shoulds, musts, and have tos. Like all the ways. Okay, let me backtrack. I'm looking at the skills that I've learned over time that I feel like are up to leave. Okay. So the skills that I feel like are up to leave for me are so I was noticing that I'm doing these future activations all the time. And you and I both love to do those, right? It's like going into the future and then talking about the future like it's already happened in the present, right? Like I
Yes.
had the greatest day ever. I literally met people that I know are going to change my life. I knew were going to change my life. I had some really juicy conversations that forwarded important projects to me. That's the kind of way a future activation goes, right?
Mhm.
So I feel like there's this evolution on future activations that I've been doing lately that it just seems like 2026 is the natural it's like 2026 has already happened in the non-time space reality, and it's already birthed this new way, and it feels like it's coming through me, and I'm excited to share it, but it has more to do with embodying skills that are in parallel universes that I already have, but I actually don't have to go through a time-space continuum in order to embody those skills, because in a parallel universe, it's already done. And so I've been playing with just doing that. Like, my beingness in my relationship has changed because I'm just imagining how, in other words, I'm letting the image of this parallel universe come into my current now, and I'm going, "Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This person that's flowing with everything in a different way where she's much more clear, much more honest with herself, absolutely free around abundance. That parallel person, I can imagine quite easily now. And I'm, instead of like, one day I'll get to being that way, my whole day, I'm going, oh, yeah, I'm a different person in a parallel universe. And then I just be that way. And so instead of waiting to be a different way, I actually just started to be that way. And it's a little technique I'm using that is causing instant changes instead of having to wait a long time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get that. And it's interesting. I'm going to be the angel's advocate, the unicorn advocate here, because not everybody is like that, right? And I know you and I have been together for, like, what? We've worked together, we've known each other for 300 years.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because, ever since I came back from Costa Rica, I could feel myself like I have the tools under my belt. I know what's happening. I know what's coming up to leave. And at the same time, I'm watching the irritability. I'm watching, the perceptive attachments to, this is not Costa Rica. I'm smack dab in the middle of winter here in Canada versus the beaches of Costa Rica. And I get it. But it's interesting how, when you're sharing what you're sharing, like, I can connect to that, especially when we're together, when we're chatting with each other. But when
Yeah.
I'm in the midst of the dogs and the kids and the house and all the to-dos, it is so interesting how the ego wants to engage. So, like, the ego wants to use the back door of, oh, this is how I can get Jeannie,
So
right?
here's what I've been doing around that. Whenever like my eye starts twitching, you know, I'm noticing my life being a certain way that I know is very different from these parallel universes that I'm seeing. And everyone can imagine ourselves being a different way because for brief moments we have access to those universes and we do be that way.
Hmm.
Right? We do shift our beingness and we're like, "Oh, if only I could be this way all the time." And I'm like, or better, first of all. And it just creates a completely different kind of world that we become magnetic through our becoming a different person to a world that has the abundance of love and money and all the things because we're becoming the person that's more aligned with that life. I mean, it's why I imagine these parallel universes. And we can all do it, right? And so I've seen you do it. I've seen you totally shaken and bacon in your expansive state, no question. But what I'm seeing is that every time I'm looking at an opportunity, every time my eye starts to twitch, I reference one of those parallel universes. And I'm like, so for instance, one of them is, you know, I see myself being, I see myself actually being there's a certain house that I'm in. Uh, Not that I have to have that house because the importance of this is not like a vision board. The importance is the feeling. So, and I feel like everything is coming to me. I feel like I have such spaciousness to connect with my friends. I feel wide open. I feel as though I can pick up and leave at any moment to go and see whoever is presenting to go and see. I have this feeling of being very direct in my communication, in my relationship, and in my friendships. I have this playfulness about when I don't know. Like, it's not a big deal when I don't know. It's totally okay. And this beingness is a little leap from where I am. I do that. I am that way often. But every time I get my eye twitching, like you're talking about, I go, "Oh yeah, I'm also that version of me. How would that version of me be in this instance?" And then I just be it. Instead of waiting to be it, I actually just act as if. It's like fake it till you make it. It's the fastest way to train your biology as a permanent cellular shift. You know, I'm so tired of analyzing my past.
Oh,
Do you know what I
totally.
mean?
Totally, and I
It's
loved what
exhausting.
we had shared when we were in Costa Rica is,
Yeah.
we had a conversation about permission, right? It's like giving ourselves permission. It was like sort of a, um, like it was interesting. It was almost like a contradiction in terms where it's like permission can be a mental thing, but when we had spoken about it in our group in Costa Rica, it was like, no, like what does it look like to completely give ourselves permission to be exactly who we are, to to be okay with feeling the way we are, and to also know that at any moment we can choose. It is also always a choice. At every moment we can choose. At every moment we can, you know, like just up level at like every time. And that's for me is the most important thing. And I know in my irritability, like my personality and my ego's irritability, it's like, okay, when I am actually, when I'm really aware that something is coming up that doesn't
Yeah.
serve, then
Yeah.
I'm just staying so incredibly curious. Like, if holy crap, if there is this much contrast, I cannot wait to see what is on the other side of this contrast. It must be like majorly juicy and amazing. I cannot believe I used juicy. That's your word.
Well, the fun part of it is that every time we have a problem or an issue, of course, instantaneously, not instantaneously in time, but in the laws of physics, what's great is that all of the solutions have to be there because the universe would collapse on itself if the solutions weren't there. So what's beautiful is that you can't have a problem without the solution existing.
Yeah.
It catching up to you has to do with having a divine intolerance and then having a tool to be able to instantaneously be different, which
Mhm.
is very different, which is an evolution upon what we've been teaching instead of needing to needing to analyze it at all. I mean, we haven't been analyzing things for eons. It's so exhausting.
Yeah.
So what's really interesting from here is that I want to talk about, like, there's an operating system being birthed for 2026 that's different. And in order to truly benefit, we have to be willing to not know or live in the mystery of what that 2026 is like, but then we also have to be complete. And I mean, we don't have to be. We can go in muddled and filled with entanglements from 2025. But if we really want to be free, it takes a certain amount of being able to celebrate what did get accomplished. It takes a certain amount of um, clearing the decks of what didn't, and transmuting whatever identities that are ready to come up to leave so that we can be more free.
Mhm.
It takes all of that stuff, right? And I'm really curious in our audience, what is it that is up to leave for you in 2025? And for me, it's any latent leftover versions of trying hard. I'm just so not interested in trying hard. So I'd love to hear from you guys. What are you letting go? What about you, Jeannie?
It is, for me, it's letting go of carrying. It's letting go of the attachment that my ego's attachment that I am responsible for everybody's happiness and comfort.
Mm,
And, and to be able to really reset my whole being in a way that it's like I am living unapologetically me.
yeah. Yeah,
That
I get it. Yeah, yeah. I totally get it. And the thing is, you guys, we have a free class coming up. The free class that we've got coming up is all about, uh, or well, uh, what's on the screen right now is, I'm not sure what that is. So, but anyways, on the 15th of December, we have a free class coming up that's all about making evolutions and moving into 2026 in a way that is freeing. On December 15th, there is an opportunity to do a free masterclass about what it takes to complete and what it takes to plug into a new year so that you're way out ahead of it, like nothing pulls you or gets you. So on December the 15th
it's
is that.
actually the 18th, Jen. It's
Oh,
just,
is it?
yeah, it's December 18th.
Oh, that's my bad. So that is my bad. Yeah. Adam, I'm
Full
so
moon
sorry.
vibes. Full moon vibes, Jen. It's all good.
Yeah, yeah, I probably just freaked Adam's freak. So, so no, it's December the 18th. So on December the 18th, we have a free class. It's a master class. It's for an hour and a half, and we're going to dive deep into what it takes, and you're going to be able to get some next steps. And in that masterclass, we don't have the landing page up yet, but we want to make sure that you can register for it because we want to keep it a pretty intimate group, which means that there's a little bit of urgency to registering for it, but anyone can come. You guys can come, and I highly recommend it because we're gonna start doing the things to shift the vibe, especially around money, love, and also catching up to what 2025 actually catalyzed into 2026 so that, in the field, we can understand it. If you're interested in registering for this workshop, which is with me live on Zoom, you just have to, for now, let us know that you're interested, and we will send you the landing page when it's ready at support@thewideawakening.com. You can put in the subject line, December 18th, please. Okay. And we'll make sure that you have everything you need to be able to come and play on the 18th. So, yeah. All righty. A couple of other things, Jeannie, with respect to, do you want to say anything about that program, by the way? And hi, Adam.
You know what, are you talking about the masterclass?
Yeah.
You know what, for the evolution of flow for love and money and purpose, for me, I just get excited because it is just me realizing and knowing that it's like I don't have to be alone in all of this.
Mm,
And I don't have to have it all handled by myself. And I don't have to be the lone wolf, which is how I've been at times when I'm feeling overwhelmed. So, if this is resonating with your heart, come and join us. It's free, and we'll all be there to support each other, answer your questions, and, let's not do this alone. That's all I have to say.
yeah. So the nature of flow is changing for sure in 2026. And some of the ways that it's changing, it feels like the depths to which we need to be anchored to the past, that's being let go. Can you see that, Jeannie? Do you
Mhm.
feel that?
Oh, big time.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also feel like our mind is the least effective way to navigate times when there is great change. Like, I see a lot of people getting really overwhelmed by trying to use tools that used to work that don't work when things are changing this fast. Have you seen that too?
Mhm.
Yeah. It, yeah. Our clients are noticing that. So it's almost as though intuition becomes the it's not just intuition. It's like this cellular knowing. And how do we get from having beliefs about things to having paradigms about things to actually get to a place of cellular knowing so we can have confidence and just transcend the doubt? That's the question that comes up for a lot of people. And as the year ends and everything speeds up, it just really feels like the way to navigate doesn't have anything to do with a lot of thinking. It has to do with a lot of almost receiving or becoming a master receiver of the what's next and what it's like living fully in the present moment so we can be master receivers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the universe is gentle, not mental, right?
Yep. It is gentle. And the thing is, if you're feeling it as not gentle, it probably means you're trying to wrestle with it rather than being a partner with it. It's a great, yeah, it's a great statement, Jeannie. I love that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, yeah, because it's not meant to be a wrestling match. It's meant to be a dance. And if you're not in the dance, there certainly is a new operating system. So anyways, I hope today was helpful. I hope everyone got something out of our conversation today that at very least, if you got seen and you got heard and you got validated that, yeah, it's a little intense, but also that you understand that there's a truth behind a year end and that there's alchemy and magic available. And that if we can harness that by engaging in a process that both clears the decks but gets us way out ahead of, this year to come, especially with the energies of the solstice and the energies of, that unconditional love being born. I feel as though there's an opportunity, and that's why we created that program on December 18th. So please, guys, you can email support@thewideawakening.com and let us know that you're interested by saying December 18th, yes, please, in your subject line, and we'll make sure we get you the registration page. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. And we don't have to wait. I feel like that's what's coming, Jeannie. I feel like this idea of time, I feel like the major conversation that's changing is about time. That this idea of waiting is disappearing, that we don't have to wait anymore, and that the skills necessary for 2026 have us be able to transcend the idea of waiting anymore or having this sense of urgency, but not seeing why and not being able to get on with this dream that's dreaming us. I feel like time gets to collapse in 2026. That would be a good thing, right?
Bring it. I'm ready.
You right? Right? And so, yeah, hopefully we'll see everybody on December 18th, and we'll be posting it all over our social media. We'll be posting it in our private community and in our free community, and just really loving everybody and knowing and understanding the energies that come with the end of a year. Just know that everything that comes up, like what Jeannie said earlier, everything that comes up is exactly what the opportunity is. And everything that comes up is what's up to change because the last month of the year is about things coming up to leave. So as you see everything that's coming up to leave, know that you can get excited. And on December 18th, we're going to show you how you do that at a year end. So support@thewideawakening.com. And I just really, I feel very blessed to be in love with the evolutions. How about you, Jeannie?
I am I'm just in such deep gratitude for the remembering.
Mm,
Just I'm in so incredibly grateful for this journey together. I'm so incredibly grateful for the remembering of who I am underneath all the roles, and excited to be able to share that.
yeah.
Emanate more of me for everybody else, right?
And not emanate more of you for you,
Hmm.
and the benefit to everybody else literally will be incredible. And thank you, Katerina.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, blessings to everybody. I can't wait for next week when we'll be able to tell you and about all of the upcoming programs we have for year end, and just biggest hugs.
Love
All
you
right.
guys.
Have a great, thriving life this week. Bye for now.